What if I told you that everything you have been taking so seriously, every worry that has kept you awake at night, every ambition that drives you forward, every fear that holds you back is actually part of an elaborate game? Not a game in the trivial sense, not a game that does not matter, but a game in the deepest sense. A cosmic play where you are simultaneously the player, the piece, and the board itself. And what if I told you that once you understand the rules of this game, once you see how it actually works, you can begin to play it with a kind of mastery and freedom that most people never even imagined possible? This is not escapism. This is not about checking out of life or pretending that nothing matters. This is about seeing reality clearly, seeing the structure beneath the surface chaos, and learning to dance with it rather than being crushed by it. Because right now, most people are playing the game of life without even knowing there is a game. They are taking their role so seriously, identifying so completely with their character, that they have forgotten they are playing. And this forgetting is the source of almost all suffering. Think about it. When you watch a movie, you know it is a movie. You know that the actors are playing roles, that the drama is scripted, that the whole thing is a carefully constructed illusion designed to evoke emotion and tell a story. And this knowledge does not ruin the movie. In fact, it allows you to enjoy it more fully because you are not confusing the movie with reality. You can feel the emotions without being destroyed by them. You can engage with the story without losing yourself in it completely. Before we go further into this game and how to hack it, if this perspective is opening something in your mind, if you are beginning to see life from a different angle, leave your like on this video. Subscribe to the channel for more reality-shifting insights. And in the comments, tell me, what game have you been playing unconsciously? What role have you been taking too seriously? Share your realization. Now let me show you how to hack the game of life. The first hack is understanding that you are not the character. You are the awareness playing the character. Right now, you have a name, a history, a personality, a set of preferences and aversions, a collection of memories and plans. This is your character in the game. But you are not this character. You are the consciousness that is animating this character, experiencing through this character, playing as this character. And the moment you realize this distinction, everything changes. Most people are completely identified with their character. They think they are their thoughts, their emotions, their body, their story. When something bad happens to the character, they experience it as happening to their fundamental self. When the character is threatened, they feel existentially threatened. When the character is praised or criticized, they take it as a statement about their ultimate worth. But this is like an actor so method that they forget they are acting, so lost in the role that they think they are the character they are playing. The hack here is to practice stepping back, to observe your character as you would observe a character in a movie or a video game. Notice how your character reacts to situations. Notice the patterns, the habits, the fears, the desires. Notice how the character has certain storylines that keep repeating. And as you observe, you begin to realize that you are not this character. You are something much larger, much more fundamental. You are the awareness that is watching the character play the game. This does not mean you stop caring about the character or stop playing the game. It means you play with freedom rather than desperation. You engage fully but without being crushed by the outcomes. You take the game seriously enough to play it well, but not so seriously that you forget it is a game. The second hack is recognizing that the game has no ultimate winning or losing. This is perhaps the most radical insight, and it goes against everything society teaches you. Society tells you that you must win, you must succeed, you must accumulate, achieve, become. You must reach certain milestones by certain ages. You must have more than you did yesterday, be better than you were last year, climb higher on whatever ladder you find yourself on. And if you fail to do these things, you are losing the game. But here is the secret. The game of life has no ultimate score. There is no final tally. There is no cosmic leaderboard where you are ranked against everyone else. The whole structure of winning and losing is something we invented, a rule we agreed to play by without realizing we agreed. And once you see that this rule is arbitrary, that you could just as easily play by different rules or no rules at all, you are free. Think about children playing. Watch them sometime. They make up games constantly. They create rules. They play intensely. They compete. They cooperate. And then when the game is over, they simply move on to the next thing. They do not carry the weight of that game into the rest of their lives. They do not define themselves by whether they won or lost. They were just playing. They were just engaging with the moment. And then the moment passed and they moved on. This is how life is meant to be played. Fully engaged but ultimately unattached to outcomes. Playing to play, not playing to win. Because the truth is, you cannot actually win the game of life. No matter how much you accumulate or achieve, you will eventually die. Everything you build will crumble. Everyone you love will be lost. The entire universe will eventually wind down into heat death. So in the ultimate sense, there is no winning. There is only playing. And the quality of your playing, the consciousness you bring to it, the joy and presence you experience during it, that is what actually matters. The third hack is understanding that obstacles are part of the game design. Most people treat obstacles as problems, as things that should not be there, as evidence that something has gone wrong. But imagine playing a video game where there were no obstacles, no challenges, no difficulties. You could just walk through every level without effort. You could achieve everything instantly without struggle. Would that be fun? Would that be engaging? Would you even call it a game? The obstacles are not bugs in the game. They are features. They are what make the game interesting, what give it texture and depth and meaning. Without obstacles, without challenges, without problems to solve and difficulties to overcome, the game would be boring beyond belief. And on some deep level, you know this. This is why people voluntarily play difficult games, read tragic stories, watch movies with conflict and tension, because the struggle is what makes the experience meaningful. The hack here is to stop resisting obstacles and start seeing them as the very thing that makes life worth living. Not in a positive thinking way where you pretend everything is wonderful, but in a deeper way where you recognize that the difficulty is the curriculum, the challenge is the teacher, the obstacle is the path. When something difficult arises in your life, instead of asking why is this happening to me, ask what is this teaching me? How is this obstacle designed to help me level up? What skill or awareness or strength is this challenging me to develop? This shift in perspective does not make obstacles pleasant or easy, but it does make them meaningful. It transforms them from random suffering into purposeful challenge, and this transformation changes everything about how you experience difficulty. The fourth hack is realizing that other players are not your enemies. In the game of life, we are conditioned to see other people as competitors, as threats, as obstacles to our own success. We are taught that resources are scarce, that there is not enough to go around, that someone else's gain is our loss. And this creates a zero-sum mentality where we are constantly competing, comparing, defending our territory against others. But what if other players are actually part of the game design too? What if they are here to play with you, not against you? What if the whole point is the interaction, the relationship, the co-creation? Think about the best games you have ever played. Were they the ones where you played alone against a machine? Or were they the ones where you played with other people, cooperating toward a common goal or engaging in friendly competition that brought out the best in everyone? The hack is to start seeing other people as collaborators in the game rather than enemies, even when they appear to be opposing you, even when they seem to be working against your interests. They are actually providing you with the friction, the challenge, the different perspective that makes the game interesting and helps you grow. Without other players, the game would be flat and meaningless. It is the interaction, the relationship, the dance between different characters that creates the richness of the experience. This does not mean you let people walk all over you or that you do not set boundaries or protect yourself when necessary, but it means you do it without the heaviness of enmity, without making them into villains in your story. You recognize that they are playing their role just as you are playing yours, and the whole thing is a cosmic choreography that is unfolding exactly as it needs to. The fifth hack is learning to play multiple games simultaneously. Most people get stuck playing one game, usually the game that society has told them to play, the career game, the money game, the status game, the relationship game. And they put all their eggs in one basket, all their identity in one role, all their sense of worth in one area. And then when that game is not going well, when they are losing at that particular game, they feel like they are losing at life, but you are actually playing multiple games at once. You are playing the survival game. Yes, you need food and shelter and safety, but you are also playing the love game, the creativity game, the growth game, the contribution game, the adventure game, the meaning game. And success in one game does not depend on success in another. You can be losing at the money game while winning at the love game. You can be struggling in the career game while absolutely crushing it in the growth game. The hack is to diversify your identity across multiple games, to not put all your sense of self-worth into one area, to recognize that you are playing many games simultaneously. And at any given moment, some will be going well and others will be challenging. And that is fine. That is how it is supposed to be. The person who is winning at everything all the time is not playing the game of life. They are playing the game of pretending, the game of presenting a false image to the world. When you spread your identity across multiple games, when you engage with multiple domains of life, you become anti-fragile. A setback in one area does not destroy you because you have other games that are providing meaning and joy and growth. You become resilient not by making yourself hard and defended, but by becoming fluid and diversified, by playing the full spectrum of games that human life offers. The sixth hack is understanding that you wrote the rules you are playing by. This is perhaps the deepest hack of all. Every rule you think you must follow, every constraint you believe is limiting you, every should and must and have to that governs your choices is actually something you agreed to at some point. Not necessarily consciously, not necessarily deliberately, but at some level. You bought into certain rules about how life works and what you are allowed to do. And here is the liberating truth. If you wrote the rules, you can rewrite them. Not all of them. You cannot rewrite the law of gravity or the need for food and water. But most of the rules that are actually limiting you, most of the beliefs that are constraining your life are not laws of nature. They are social conventions, family patterns, cultural conditioning. They are rules that you can change if you choose to. The hack is to start questioning every rule you are living by. Ask yourself, who made this rule? Why am I following it? What would happen if I did not? What different rules could I play by? Most people never ask these questions because they have forgotten that the rules are not absolute. They have mistaken the map for the territory, the game rules for reality itself. But when you begin to question, when you start to see that you have much more freedom than you thought, everything opens up. You realize you can change careers even though everyone says you should stay and climb the ladder. You can end relationships that are not working even though you are supposed to stick it out. You can pursue unconventional paths even though society says you should play it safe. You can redefine success according to your own values rather than accepting society's definition. This is not about being reckless or irresponsible. It is about being conscious. It is about choosing your rules deliberately rather than following them blindly. It is about playing the game you actually want to play rather than the game someone else told you to play. The seventh hack is recognizing that you are playing against yourself. This sounds paradoxical, but stay with me. Every obstacle you face, every challenge that arises, every difficulty that blocks your path, is actually something that emerges from the same source that you emerge from. It is the universe playing with itself, consciousness exploring itself through apparent separation and opposition. Think about it. When you play a single-player video game, you are playing against the game designer's creation. You are navigating obstacles and solving puzzles that someone else created. But in the game of life, you are both the player and the designer. You are both the one facing the challenges and the source from which the challenges arise. You are playing hide-and-seek with yourself, where you have hidden so well that you have forgotten you are the one who hid. The hack here is to stop seeing life as you versus the world and start seeing it as consciousness exploring itself through the illusion of separation. Every person you encounter is you in disguise. Every obstacle is you challenging yourself to grow. Every moment of suffering is you teaching yourself something you need to learn. And when you see this, when you really get this, the whole game transforms from a struggle for survival into a cosmic play of self-discovery. The eighth hack is learning to play in the flow state. You know those moments when everything seems effortless, when you are completely absorbed in what you are doing, when time disappears and you feel like you are being moved by something larger than yourself. That is the flow state. That is what it feels like to play the game properly, without resistance, without force, without the constant chatter of the mind questioning and doubting and worrying. The flow state happens when you are fully present, when you are engaged with what is actually happening rather than being lost in thoughts about what should be happening or what might happen. It occurs when you are playing for the sake of playing rather than playing to achieve some future outcome. It arises when you stop trying to control everything and start dancing with the moment. The hack is to orient your life toward flow experiences, to notice what activities bring you into that state and do more of them, to practice presence, to cultivate awareness, to let go of the constant need to manage and control and predict, to trust the process, to surrender to the moment, to play without gripping so tightly. And here's the beautiful thing. When you play in flow, you actually perform better. You achieve more, not despite letting go of the outcome, but because you let go of the outcome. Because when you stop gripping so tightly, when you stop forcing and pushing and straining, you allow your natural intelligence to emerge. You allow the universe to work through you. You allow the game to play itself through your character. The ninth hack is understanding that death is not losing the game. This is the final frontier, the ultimate fear that keeps most people from playing freely. We are terrified of death, of losing the game permanently, of ceasing to exist. And this fear colors everything. It makes us play small and safe. It makes us cling desperately to what we have. It makes us live in constant anxiety about the inevitable end. But what if death is not the end of the game but simply the end of this round, this level, this particular character? What if death is just the cosmic reset button, the moment when you return to the main menu and choose to play again in a different form, with different rules, in a different world? What if death is not something to fear but something to embrace as part of the rhythm of the game? I am not asking you to believe in any particular doctrine about what happens after death. I am asking you to consider the possibility that your fear of death might be based on a misunderstanding of what you are. If you are the character, then yes, death is terrifying because it means the end of everything you are. But if you are the awareness playing the character, if you are the consciousness that is temporarily experiencing through this particular form, then death is simply a transition, a transformation, a return to your true nature. The hack is to befriend death, to contemplate it regularly, to let it inform your life choices. When you remember that your time in this particular game is limited, when you really feel the preciousness and impermanence of this life, you stop wasting time on things that do not matter. You stop playing games that bore you or diminish you. You start living with urgency and purpose and full engagement because you know the game will not last forever. The final hack is the most paradoxical of all. It is to play as if it matters while knowing it does not. To engage fully, passionately, wholeheartedly with the game of life while simultaneously holding the awareness that it is just a game. To care deeply about your character's journey while remembering you are not the character. To work toward your goals with dedication while being unattached to whether you achieve them. This is the ultimate mastery of the game. not checking out and pretending nothing matters, not being so detached that you are just going through the motions, but playing with full commitment while maintaining the lightness of someone who knows it is all a cosmic play, taking the game seriously enough to play it beautifully, but not so seriously that you forget to enjoy it. This is how children play naturally before we teach them to be so serious, so attached, so afraid. They throw themselves completely into their games, feeling all the emotions, engaging all their creativity and energy, and then when the game is over, they let it go without carrying the weight of it into the next moment. This is the wisdom we need to return to. This is the hack that contains all the other hacks. So here is what I am inviting you to do. Start seeing life as the magnificent game it actually is. Notice where you have been playing unconsciously, taking everything too seriously, forgetting that you are the awareness, not the character. Begin to question the rules you have been following blindly. Recognize obstacles as features, not bugs. See other players as collaborators, not enemies. Diversify your games. Find your flow, befriend death, and above all, play fully while holding it all lightly. This is the art of living. This is the secret that the mystics and sages have been trying to tell us for thousands of years in their own languages and metaphors. Life is a game, consciousness playing with itself. The universe exploring its own infinite possibilities through the illusion of separate players and competing interests. And when you see this, when you really get this, you become free to play the game with a joy and creativity and fearlessness that transforms everything. The game is already in progress. You are already playing whether you know it or not. The only question is whether you will play consciously or unconsciously, freely or bound, joyfully or miserably. The choice is yours. The game is yours. Now go play.